Hello and welcome to the July 4th stream of Skin Deep Development. I am Brendan Chung, and today we are gonna make a new thing for this video game. So, last time we were on this stream, we were working on these ventilation doors. And here's how that looks right now. Here's how it works. Actually, give me 1 minute, I'll be right back. Alright, so what we got so far is this ventilation door. And then when you click on it, your character kind of zips inside and automatically closes the door. And then when you want to get back out, you just climb out. So it automatically dumps you inside, and then you have to manually kind of exit it. And it's works pretty well, I think. It feels pretty good to kind of hide away into this little door. And it also works for vertically oriented doors. And you can even climb up. Something else we added was when you're crawling through ventilation shaft, you'll enter a confined state. So if you see in the top left, there's a little confined icon. And what that means is that if you try to turn your body, you're limited to turning your body 180 degrees. Because the shaft is just so squishy and tight that you don't have enough clearance to rotate around. And so if you want to go backwards, or if you want to go back to the door, you have to kind of crawl backwards. Then you sneeze. So we're going to try that out, see how that works. One thing I'm trying to figure out right now is I want some kind of UI that communicates that if you try to turn your head too far to any one direction, I want to communicate why you can't turn anymore. I kind of think it's going to feel like a bug. It's gonna feel like, oh, my camera's broken. I can't turn any more than this. So maybe one thought was to have some kind of like meter over here to kind of show how far your head is turning. I was thinking maybe when you kind of hit this limit to kind of do a little animation on this thing somehow. Kind of make it blink or pulse or something. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. Let's add a little to-do note so that we don't forget. Okay. Cool. Sounds good. Yeah, so I think we're doing pretty good with the event. I think we're just gonna. It needs some more work, but it's far enough along that I think I'm gonna stop streaming about it and clean it up on my own time. So I thought we would do something new. I thought one thing that would be kind of nice is I kind of want some way for the player to very quickly travel vertically. I think there's something special about vertical movement and kind of taking advantage of that the up and down axis during combat and sneaking sections. So I was thinking one thing that could be kind of fun, kind of nice to play with, is to have elevator shafts in which the elevator is not working anymore, and for the player to have some kind of device on them where they can latch onto the elevator cable and kind of zip up and down really quickly. This is kind of inspired by how something that Apex Legends has. Apex Legends is a very good battle royale game made by Respawn, the folks who made Titanfall, and they have these cables in the world that dangle down from ledges and stuff. And when you kind of frob the cable, your character kind of zips up and down the cable very quickly, and it feels really good. And I kind of want to see what we can do with that. Yeah, so let's try that out. So, first thing is we want to make a little test map. So we're going to modify this current map. Make the ceiling nice and tall. Select all these surfaces. Do that. Got one. Alright. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to move the player to a better position. Go right there. Rotate you a little bit. Okay. And we're going to add a block right there. All right. It's a tiny elevator shaft. I guess the fiction could be is that the bad guys just trashed all the elevators. I don't know. There's some reason why all the elevators on the ship don't work. I'm kind of trying to avoid elevators because it makes... I always find them kind of clunky to use in video games. And I think they kind of make combat kind of... I don't know, I find them difficult to use in combat situations. So we're just gonna work around that by making the player zip up and down the cable like a rocket. Brax2 says, could you make the head pivot at an angle so you could see your shoulder? A sort of physical boundary that helps the player remember, oh yeah, I have a body. I couldn't turn around in this shaft. Yeah. I think I kind of, yeah, I mean, that could work. I think my only concern is that rolling, making a lot of places where the player has to involuntarily roll their camera and sometimes feel kind of weird. And I'm not sure if that'll read as a communicating to the player that, oh, I can't turn my body anymore. Yeah, I don't know, that's a good idea. I might want to try that out. Eric's Comics says shoulder mounted pulley system. Yeah, something like that. Some kind of reason why you're able to zip up and down these cables. Okay. So how should we start? I guess we should start with making the cable itself. I'm trying to figure out what's the best way of doing this. I guess we could just make a model with like preset sizes. So this cable would be 512 units. Yeah, let's do that. Let me get some water. I'll be right back. All right, so we are making a cable. Well, before I do this, actually, let's before I make a model, I like to make a little dummy version of it using a block, just to make sure I got my proportions right. I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that. All right. So we made 2 blocks, and we're going to see which one is a better size for what we're trying to make. All right, so this one's way too big. This one's a good size, I think. You know what? Let's see how it looks if we make it even narrower. Kind of like both of them. They're both pretty good. I guess this one's better. Yeah, let's do this one. So 2 by 2 is the size of we want our cable to be. So we're gonna make a mesh. A nice cylinder. It's gonna be 5 sides. 512. Radius is 1. Yep, looks right. Yeah, that looks good, I think. And we're gonna move you like that. Okay. Yeah, I guess that works. Let's double check the sizes. 512 by 2 by 2. Yeah, alright. Good, good, good. So what I want is I also want it to be, So what I wanted was, I wanted this to be rigged up with bones. Because I want it to be a little bit like, I want the cable to kind of jiggle a little bit. So let's make a simple, see how simple we can make this. Trying to figure out the best way of doing this. Alright, let's do this. We're gonna manually make a cylinder that goes down 64 units, 64 unit segments. All right. Now we're going to make the armature. Armatures, bone. Okay. So we're going to go in here, turn on the X-ray mode, change it to stick mode. Okay. All right, so far so good. And we're gonna do the same thing. Let's go down. All right, so far looks okay. Let's save this as, what should we save this as? Elevator cable. And you're gonna be called cable 512. You know, I was thinking maybe it would read better if instead of just one cable, it was 2 cables. And like that. I was thinking it'd be two cables kind of like lined up next to each other. And I think the benefit would be that it would be more readable. Because I think from a distance, you'd be able to see these two cables, and it would kind of have a more distinct like silhouette and shape than just one cable. I don't know. I kind of like that, and I kind of think I might be overthinking it and giving myself more work. Well, let's do one for now. Let's keep it simple. Okay. Saved. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go here, add a modifier, armature. I think there was a way to automatically apply weights. Why have my notes in here? It's not. Let me. Oops. Come on. Automatic weights tool. Oh, okay. First select the mesh, and then the armature, and then Control P. Yeah, let's just add this to our notes. Select mesh, select armature, Control P, armature deform. Well, let's see if this works. Mesh, armature, Control P. Mesh, armature, Control P. Form, automatic weights. Whoa, hey. Looks good. Alright, great. I love it. Save that. Okay, let's make a texture. Yeah, that's fine. Oops. Nice little splash of yellow right there. Ooh. Hmm. Hmm. I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe this shouldn't necessarily be an elevator shaft. I think that might kind of. Well. So the reason I'm thinking maybe it shouldn't be an elevator shaft is it kind of limits how and where we place these zip lines. Because then, like, if you want to use one of these zip lines, then you gotta make a little elevator shaft. Then you gotta make all the elevator accessories. But if it was just like a very distinct cable in the world, then that might be easier for level design. Guze asks, may I ask what you're building? Yeah, so I'm building a system where there's a cable dangling from the ceiling that reaches all the way down to the ground. And then if you interact with the cable, your character kind of grabs the cable and somehow rockets up the cable, then jumps off of it. And the idea is to make it very easy for the player to kind of vertically travel around a level. That's what we're trying to do. Yeah. Well, I mean, let's just stick with the original plan. We'll keep that in the back of our minds whether we actually want to keep this as an elevator shaft. But for now, let's not get stuck doing nothing. All right, so let's make some stripes for this. I'm gonna evenly space them apart. Make it a little bit thicker. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Base models. Objects. Cable. Yep. And now let's texture this. Okay. That should work. All right, look at that. Looks pretty good. Nice and textured. And now we are gonna make a shader for it. GUIs, materials, objects. Models, objects, elevator, cable, skin. Get that. Put you down there. Let's make you a little bit shinier. I'm going to use specular 40. Okay, alright. Getting closer. Now we're going to export you as some MD5 mesh. 12.5 mesh, yep, looks right. And we're also going to export an animation of you doing nothing. I'm going to call you cable 512 idle. Sounds all right. Good, good, good. Now we're gonna make you into a gameplay object. Okay. Okay. So now we're going to make a new code file for this. Base. Okay, neo d3xp, and we're going to just copy one of our existing files. Let's copy the ventilation shaft. See elevator cable. Now we go here, add existing file. Go to that folder. PC elevator cable. Cool. And now got these nice fresh code new files, and we're gonna shape them into what we want them to be. Id elevator cable. Put you in there. What should this inherit off of? Let me take a look. Id animated. Let's try that. Whoa! We're having an earthquake right now. Hang on. Still going. Okay, it's done. Haven't had that in a while. Everything seems fine. It was a long one, but it was pretty, like a gentle rolling one, so nothing bad happened. All right, let's continue. Sorry, let me collect my thoughts. Yeah, so we are in this file, and we are right. Let's start changing things back to what we want them to be. Don't need you. And we're gonna start copy and pasting. Things like that. All right, let's see if this compiles. Anton says, I've never experienced any kind of earthquake. Can't imagine what it's like. Yeah, so I've been in California for a while, or been in LA for a while, specifically, and how do I describe it? It's the earth shakes around a bit. I've been lucky in that the areas that I've been in haven't been too close to the epicenter. So I've been lucky that like I don't have stuff flying off the shelf or bookshelves crashing down or stuff like that. So I've been pretty fortunate. But basically, the world just kind of like rolls around for a while. It's kind of weird if you're in a modern skyscraper because those are, or at least the one that I was in, was designed to be flexible during an earthquake. Because if you have a very rigid building, it'll kind of, you risk having the building snap or have a lot of damage be done to it. So they're meant to be flexible. And the problem is, if you're on the 19th floor of a building, sorry, not a problem, but the weird thing is that if you're on the 19th floor of a building and an earthquake happens, the effect of the earthquake is kind of exaggerated. Basically, you're like on the tip, you're on the top of a blade of grass, and you're swaying in the wind, and it at first it feels like the building's gonna fall over, and it's kind of it's strange, it's weird. Maxa Clark says earthquake. LOL. It's not very big here in Long Beach. Cool. Yeah, I'm over in Culver City, and it's not too bad either. Maxa Clark says it feels like someone is rocking your bed. Yeah, that's a good description of what an earthquake feels like. Shmoo32 asks, how do you make climbable ropes in games not feel super wonky? That's a good question. Yeah, because like you don't want it to feel like you're just kind of like on an invisible elevator rising up and down. You do kind of want I think you kind of want it to feel like your character's actually like clambering up and down a rope, and it's kind of you kind of want it to feel physical. I think for me, I'm just trying to avoid having the player like, because I think climbing up and down a rope is actually a really slow and arduous task, and for this, I want it to avoid that and just have it happen very quickly and without having to really think about it. Similar to how you can just zip inside a ventilation shaft. So that's what we're gonna try. Pastoral Max Mac says, "Hey, I really like your recent episode of Designer Notes." Yeah, I was on a podcast with talking to Soren Johnson, who was who worked on the Civilization games, and we talked about game development stuff. So if you want to listen to that, go look up the Designer Notes podcast, and I think part 1 is up right now. All right, so we have a super basic item. All right, compiled. That's great. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make a definition file for this. Yeah, spawn class id elevator cable model, whatever model this is. Copy you, put you down here. Objects. Okay, I think we're good, but let's see. Let's see what happens. So we're going to reload definitions, and we should be able to see the elevator cable in here now. Hey, look at that. Beautiful. All right, so we do this. We're gonna see if it actually spawns in the game engine. Cool. There it is. It worked. That's great. So I think the idea is we're gonna make like a big prob volume around it, because this is kind of narrow. So you approach it, the little throb finger appears, you press E, your character will kind of magnetize onto it, oops, zip upwards, and then like get shot out of it and kind of thrown out down here. So it kind of behaves, or it'll be like the functional equivalent to those jump pads in some arena shooters, but a bit more fictionalized for this world. Alright, let's save what we got. It works. Added elevator cable. Okay. Anton says the concept of not being able to escape something like that despite being on solid ground is bizarre to me. Yeah, it is kind of weird. Like, I think a lot of things you can physically move your body away from that dangerous thing. Or this hazardous element in the world. But an earthquake is the entire region that's just turned into a shake zone. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird concept. I'll be right back. Give me 1 minute. Sending a really quick message. Um, all right. So, what we're gonna do? Yeah, let's try to make this thing into a functional object. What's the best way for this to work? Hmm. Hmm. I'm wondering. So the ventilation shaft, we kind of automated a lot of it, and then I kind of like did a bunch of checks to see what's the best place to put the player. But in this case, I think we might. I don't think we'll be able to do that because where we want the cable to poop out the player is, I think, something we'll need to manually do. Okay. Okay, so I guess we want the entire thing to be a big frob tower. So let's just make that right now. All right, mesh, cube. What radius should this be? Let's say 32 by 32. And we want it to be 512 tall. We multiply that by 16. Sorry, give me 1 more minute. I'll be right back. All right. I just wanted to find out where the earthquake was happening. It was a ways away, so that's good. Just want to make sure everyone was okay. Okay, so we have this cable. Let's make, here's our frob volume. And we're gonna give it a nice texture. Oops. Smart AC. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay. I wonder if this is gonna work. Can we just throw in a clip model here? Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. This is a good start, though. And we'll kind of continue from here. All right, I think I'm gonna call it. Gonna end it for right now. And I will join you all next time. Yeah, thanks for hanging out on this special edition July 4th earthquake stream of Skin Deep Development. I will see you all next time. All right, have a good day. I'll see you.